Does that mean it was also the puppet master who killed Mukuro Ikusaba?
I have no proof, but that's what I believe.
Then that's bad news for us. He could just kill any of us on a whim. Wait, that doesn't make sense. I mean, didn't the puppet master try to kill you using the class trial because he couldn't do so himself?
Yes, it's contradictory. And not just him killing Mukuro Ikusaba. The very fact that he tried to kill me using the class trial, and that, in his desperation, he even tried to kill you when you were completely innocent. It's all a big contradiction.
What does it all mean?
It means he's been cornered.
What?
We're close. We're close to uncovering the puppet master's identity. And the identity of the other Super Duper High School Despair.
The other Super Duper High School Despair?
There's no mistake that Mukuro Ikusaba was the Super Duper High School Despair. However, Super Duper High School Despair isn't just one person.
Not just one person?
The phrase Super Duper High School Despair refers to those who cause the malefaction.
You mean what happened last year?
Yes, mankind's most despairingly maleficent and monstrous malefaction.
The people who cause mankind's most despairingly maleficent and monstrous malefaction are known as Ultimate Despair.
They're supposedly despicable and depraved, and they apparently act purely for despair's sake.
And they are...
Without a doubt. Behind this. Super Duper High School Despair are our true enemies.
Super Duper High School Despair. The group that caused mankind's most despairingly maleficent and monstrous malefaction last year. The group that pitted us against each other in this academic coliseum and broadcasted it to the world. A hopelessly, helplessly, terrible group of people. And the identity of the puppet master. After all this time, we finally got our sights set on our true enemy. But first...
Let's get out of this awful place, shall we? We could talk once we've done that.
Yeah, I agree. It's locked, but there should be a way to open it now. Hey, Kirigiri, did you bring that key with you? That Monokuma's secret gadget thing that you stole from the headmaster's office?
Of course I have it. This key is vital in our trapping the puppet master. I wouldn't let it out of my sight.
You said it can unlock any door in the academy, right?
Yes, it can.
Then it should work on that door over there too. Hey, Kirigiri, shouldn't that key be able to open this door too?
It's worth a shot.
She slowly slid the Monokuma branded key into the door's keyhole. Turned it and... Yes, it opened!
We should be able to get out of here now. Let's go.
Let's. Opening the one sealed door, Kirigiri and I left the dump behind. Finally! I was finally out. But I didn't have time for a sigh of relief. After all, the true battle was still to come. Beyond the door was a space-like shaft, like a tunnel turned on its side, or maybe a large chimney. My eyes traced the path along the ladder on the wall. I felt like I was at the bottom of a bottomless pit. I took hold of the ladder first, get my ascent, and Kirigiri followed after me. We climbed, and we climbed, and we climbed, unable to see our destination. After some time, we also lost sight of our point of origin. I had no idea we were this far down.
Watch your step. I won't be able to catch you if you fall.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Of course, now that I'm actually thinking about it, maybe I should try talking about something to take my mind off it. Oh, hey, Kirigiri. There was something I wanted to ask you. You're the super duper high school sleuth, right? How long have you been a detective?
How long? I've always been one. Ever since I was a child. Since the old days when detective work was considered far more venerable than it is today. The Kirigiri family has made its livelihood as detectives.
Then your family's pretty famous, isn't it?
Actually, quite the opposite. We're relatively unknown, even amongst others in the same line of work.
Huh? But why? If you got such a strong family tradition...
We pride ourselves in it.
Pride?
Detectives represent neither light nor dark. It is precisely because we are neither good nor evil that we are able to find the one truth. We are obligated to maintain neutrality, so for that reason we must separate ourselves from the world. Thus, we deliberately kept our existence hidden away.
You keep hidden?
It's an obsolete, old-fashioned, illogical way of thinking. But despite that, we still abide by it. After all, it is our pride.
Pride. I think I get it. The reason I couldn't find anything about her in the new students at Hope's Peak Academy thread was because she kept that information hidden to uphold her family's pride.
But I trampled on that pride.
What?
I sold myself out to the Hope's Peak Academy faculty so I would be selected for admission. Knowing full well that my actions were unworthy of a Kirigiri family detective.
She went so far as to trample over her family's pride, so she could enroll in Hope's Peak Academy. And she wanted to do that because you were really looking forward to meeting your dad, weren't you? I can't blame you.
Looking forward to it? I have absolutely nothing to look forward to in a reunion with my father.
Huh? But you haven't seen your dad in so long. Surely there's a bunch of stuff you want to talk about.
I have nothing to talk to him about. But I do have something to tell him.
You want to tell him something?
There's something I absolutely want to tell that man. To meet with him directly and tell him to his face.
And what's that?
That I'm cutting off all our ties. That he's no longer my father.
No longer her father?
The last time I saw that man, I was still a child. So I don't know a lot about him, other than that he was apparently very intelligent. The Kirigiri family had high hopes for the future with him as the next family head. But he hated being a detective, so he withdrew himself from the Kirigiri family. When my mother died, he used that as an excuse to run away from home. He had a big fight with my grandfather, the head, and then he left, leaving me, still young, behind.
I'm sure he had a good reason. I bet your dad really wanted to bring you with him.
In that case, I should be thankful. Thankful that he left me behind. Unlike that man, I actually take pride in my work as a detective. I take pride in the Kirigiri family. So I am grateful, from the bottom of my heart, that he didn't take me with him. Had he, by some chance, actually taken me with him, I would not have been able to become a detective.
Climbing the ladder ahead of her, I was unable to see Kirigiri's face. So I had no way to know what kind of expression, what kind of emotion her face bore as she said those words. All I could tell was that, as compared to usual, she was speaking more freely. And perhaps more brazenly.
I have no intention of blaming that man. His life is his to live. And I'm sure it sounds like I'm being dismissive, but that's honestly how I feel. And there's just one thing that I can never forgive him for.
And what's that?
The way people looked at me. I felt no sorrow at having been left behind. Rather, I thought I was better off for it. But people didn't see me like that. I was always thought of as the girl who was abandoned by her father. And that's how they all looked at me. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm fed up with having my past, that man's shadow, always hanging over me. I want to cut him out of my life, once and for all. That's why I have to tell him to his face, that I'm cutting all ties. So I can clear the books on our past. So I can remove that man from my life. Of course, he's probably forgotten all about me by now.
But your family, isn't severing relations a bit much?
He and I simply share the same blood, nothing more. We may be connected by blood, but our hearts are disconnected. Can you really call that family?
They're connected by blood, but their hearts are disconnected. She had been so sure, so firm in saying that, I couldn't think of any way to respond. So I could do nothing but keep my mouth shut. To continue climbing in silence. After some time, we finally arrived. It looks like this is the end.
Hope's Peak Academy is on the other side of that door.
We've returned.
You remember the door in the dormitory's trash room floor? That should be where we come out. I unlocked the door ahead of time, so there shouldn't be any problems opening it.
I'll give it a shot. I pressed my right hand against the door above my head, and I pushed. With little resistance, the door opened. Then... we've returned.
That was an unbelievably long ladder. I'm exhausted.
Somehow, we made it back. Whether you could say we were unharmed was another issue altogether. But here we are, Hope's Peak Academy. Thank you, Kirigiri. You saved my life.
You don't need to thank me, I was just repaying a favor.
So, what do we do from here? I managed to dodge one bullet, and that's great and all. But if the Puppet Master finds me, it's not just me who's in danger, but you too, since you saved me.
Are you worried?
Well, yeah.
Then how about we ask him directly?
Huh? Him?
Monokuma, ask him whether your escaping is a problem or not.
But...
It's just a matter of time before you're found, and it's not like there's anywhere to run anyway.
So you're saying, if my only option is to wait to be caught, then I'd be better off just surrendering?
Don't worry. Things won't end up the way you're afraid they will. After all, it's the Puppet Master who's been driven into a corner, not us.
The Puppet Master's been driven into a corner. You said that before, but what do you mean?
By holding Mukuro Ikusaba's class trial, the Puppet Master revealed his hand. And that's something we can take advantage of.
Something we can take advantage of?
You'll see when we talk to Monokuma. Also, it's to our benefit to act first, before you're discovered. We want any advantage we can get for this negotiation.
I'm a little bit, no, more than a little bit nervous, but we've got no choice, do we?
Monokuma should be in the gymnasium. Let's go, shall we?
Well. I get Kirigiri. But why is the should have been executed has been Naegi here with you?
Can't say I didn't see that reaction coming. Great. Am I really going to be okay?
Did you perhaps save him? And after all the trouble I went through preparing his punishment.
And what if I did?
If the villain is correctly identified during the class trial, he alone will be punished. I'm sorry to say it. Those are the rules. Then I'll just have to punish you again! And this time I'll make sure it works!
Kirigiri!
If that's what you want to do, go right ahead.
What?
But before you do, just let me say one thing. If you execute Naegi, then you lose. Are you okay with that?
Me? Lose? Hey! What's that supposed to mean?
That class trial was just a big setup, wasn't it? So you could smoke me out and kill me. In other words, had things gone according to plan, it would have been me executed there.
Hold on. What are you saying?
But your expectations were blown way off track, because Naegi let my lie slip through unnoticed. You didn't see that coming. It didn't even cross your mind that in that situation, someone would stand up for someone else. And your response to that unexpected turn of events was to call Naegi the villain and execute him. You were desperate. No, it was more than desperation. You felt threatened by Naegi, because he doesn't do what you expect him to. But that wasn't the only surprise waiting for you that class trial. Someone interfered with Naegi's execution.
Alter ego.
You miscalculated. You didn't consider that someone who was already dead would save someone else. And that is the truth. It wasn't Naegi who murdered Mukuro Ikusaba. It was you. And yet, for you to execute Naegi in spite of that, isn't that a violation of the rules you so adore? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the villain is only supposed to be executed if he's identified correctly.
And that means I lose? Then where's your evidence?
I don't have any.
She doesn't sugarcoat it.
Is this your idea of a joke? How can you talk like a big shot and not even have any evidence to back it up?
I don't have any now, but with a little more time I'll be able to find everything I need. As much as you might try to hide it, there is only one truth.
What's your deal? Now you're pilfering catchphrases from super detectives?
If Naegi really did kill her, then he wouldn't have come to you like this. He'd have gone into hiding, trembling under the weight of his sins, cowering in fear of his punishment. Rotting away in your precious despair. But we're here, standing up to you. We haven't lost hope.
You trying to say that counts in place of evidence? You think that's enough to satisfy me?
You're right, that wouldn't satisfy you. But it's the same for the people watching this. Executing Naegi now will not satisfy them.
What?
If you execute Naegi right now, this is what the people watching will think. They'll think you forcibly executed Naegi because everything we said was right. They'll think that hope cannot be killed with despair. If your stance is that what we're saying is baseless, then you'll just have to prove it, right? No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you execute Naegi while his guilt is still in question, then you are admitting defeat. If you want us to experience despair fairly and impartially, then you will accept my proposition. You must accept it.
So what is it? This proposition of yours?
That we retry Mukuro Ikusaba's murder case. And that, this time, you hold a fair class trial abiding by the school rules. Let this be our final battle. The final battle between hope and despair. Pretty fitting for a climax, don't you think?
A fair class trial. The final battle. In other words, a trial to reveal the Puppet Master's identity? But the Puppet Master has no reason to accept a challenge like that. Surely he'll just get rid of me. No questions asked.
Intriguing. Very intriguing.
Barry?
I'm trying out a new personality. I couldn't bear the old one any longer. Anyways, that's not a very bad idea. It is a pretty fitting climax, I'll give you that.
So you accept?
If I do, will that satisfy you lot and the viewers? And when you're satisfied, will you despair for me? If you will, then honey shall be Waynersa. Will you lot and your hope win out? Or will me and my despair take the crown? A veritable final battle! A real Kodiak moment!
He accepted? That means there's still a chance.
However, since this is the climax, it would be pretty boring if all you had to do was find the culprit. So, to make it befitting of a final conflict, you lot need to lay bare all of the mystery!
All of the mysteries?
Every single mystery buried in the Academy. If you manage to solve all of them, then I'll call it you lot's victory.
That's what I planned on doing from the very beginning.
And that takes care of that. If you lot can uncover Mukuro Ikusaba's murderer, how the crime was committed, and on top of that, solve all the Academy's mysteries, then I'll admit defeat. But when the polar opposite happens,
Well, I'll be executed, right?
I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the grisly truth, just what kind of despair will you lot show me?
We're the ones who should be excited. When we reveal everything, just how much despair will Super Duper High School Despair be in?
I feel like I just witnessed the start of something outrageous.
But first, I'd like to clarify something. You said before, the class trials are held when murders are committed among the students, right?
What of it?
I'd like to confirm that there are no inaccuracies in that statement.
There's no need to try to pry it out of me. I'm an approachable kind of bear. Everything that's happened has all been in accordance with the school rules. And, it goes without saying, Mukuro Ikusaba's class trial is no exception.
Huh? Mukuro Ikusaba's class trial is no exception? It was held in accordance with the school rules? Then, that means that the person who killed her...
Actually, while we're at it, I'll give you one more hint. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but there are a total of 16 participants, all of whom are students, in this academic coliseum. Also, since the coliseum commenced operation, the only living humans to set foot in the academy are those very same 16 students.
What?
Is that the truth?
Why the silent treatment all of a sudden?
This conversation's over! I ain't got nothing left to talk to you guys about! Now scram!
Now he's angry?
Maybe he has borderline personality disorder.
Stop and get lost!
Alright, we're going. Are you sure I can go?
Whatevs. Doesn't matter. You're all gonna get punished later either way. So I'm gonna prepare something very despairingly special for you guys.
Let's go, Naegi.
Okay. With our backs turned to Monokuma's creepy, unstable laughter, Kirigiri and I left the gym.
Let's Start Project.